Well, welcome again to Art of Tiny Living, more Modern Pioneerism. No, we have, yes, bananas. Yes, a quick batch of banana bread while these things, before they die off too bad. Our kitchen. Can't really show you the aftermath because, well, they didn't last long. So this is a little peek of how things are starting to look. Got the weather station sitting up, and yeah, the dogs just hate it here. They're so miserable. And of course the cat and our sponsor, Anheuser-Busch packaging system. Driving to Lowe's so we can pick up some OSB and some straps, and it might be nice too if they called and said that our hot water heater had been delivered. But we have another storm coming in, so it's kind of valuable that we've identified some possible spots where maybe our structure is still a little lacking, so we're going to fortify it just a little bit more. So this is the Lowe's in Los Lunas, New Mexico. They're not becoming my favorite by any means. So now we're gusting to 30. It's supposed to get a lot more hairier than that. You gotta leave it up to the mountain. There's always something special in the sky having this much open space around it.
Where they did the light and suck people up.
It's pretty cool. So we figured out the best method the first time the winds picked up really bad, and we took care of the sway. Now we have to take care of the shimmy just a little bit too, I think. So we're going to use these big heavy-duty 4-inch straps and some more rebar and stake the thing down across it itself. This is the completed version. Got another tarp for the door. We keep things covered inside. It seems to help for the most part. You know, there's always some dust no matter what when the wind blows, but the less that we can keep the whole thing from shaking or trying to walk, the better that is. And yeah, here's some winds. But as you can see, the thing isn't wiggling at all. Just the poly covered tarps and those kinds of things ruffling around a little bit. But the structure itself isn't moving. So I think we did good. Plus it's cool with the yellow and the red now. At some point here soon we're going to give ourselves just a little bit more space so we're not crawling around between the RV and the gazebo. But as you can see, things aren't flapping quite so much. And later on, I'm supposed to see stuff up to 60 miles an hour. So we decided to take for a drive. We're out here checking out a different part of the desert on the other side of the interstate. This is just to the south of the Manzano Range. There's supposed to be some ruins out here someplace. We're gonna go check them out for a little bit. It isn't exactly the ones that we were looking for, but only because Google out here is goofy at best. These are some ruins in the Civilita Game Preserve Wildlife Management Area, however you want to think about it. These were originally made by the Piro Indians, P-I-R-O, dating back into the early 1800s. And these bricks are pretty stiff still. I'll give them that. Unfortunately, people come in here and they party and they wreck shit, but you get a pretty good idea of how people lived in their pioneering times. There's Anne in the doorway. Somebody etched that into the wall. It's kind of cool. Hands reaching for the sun. And of course, somebody loves somebody. Yeah, people do like little carvings and stuff. But the topography is a little different out here. A little bit more rolling on this side. Good grazing lands. I'm sure there was a particular reason why people came in. And I'm sure this plain would flood when the back a few hundred years ago before they started irrigating. And this is the second of the two. There's two of these out here. Of course, I was looking for rocks. But considering the age and the wind abuse and the rain and the seasons and everything else out here, yeah, don't stick your hand in that hole. They're doing surprisingly well. At some point in time, I think these wood pieces may have been put up.
This was the main door.
To help preserve them at one point in time. I'm not sure how original they look. I had to question it. But maybe. There was supposedly a mill not too far away in the ghost town that we were originally looking for. But they got so much of the area blocked off now because the roads are impassable that I'm not sure if you can go down and check too much of that out without hiking for miles and miles.
Let's finish it. Stop. That's it. Stop.
And with your right. So even as we stand here, we can tell that the winds are starting to pick up just a little bit more. And we're going to go try to find this other ghost town a little bit. Looks like the track runs right along the mountain. Unfortunately, we found out we were like 80 miles in the wrong direction. But, as I said, this is a game preserve. They allow hunting and so forth out here. It's kind of an open hunting, public lands type of thing. So you can only hunt during certain times of the day. They reserve the rights for some people to have access to some of these bluffs. A lot of quail and some pheasant, small ducks. Right.
I know. You can see the dust flying.
Okay.
Hear that?
Because I'm being blinded. Certainly now the winds are pounding about 45 miles an hour, gusting to 60 plus.
It's either dust or we have ghosts.
It's holding together pretty decently. Well, we know that. Yes, if the RVs are rocking, don't come a knocking. Except we're leaning a little bit, swaying back and forth. Winds are certainly up into the high 40s, maybe 50s. Could even see a 70-mile-an-hour gust. Well, as you can see, most of it's all still standing. So, and it's not all covered in shit tons of dust. So the half sheets of OSB used as a wind deflector kind of worked. think we're going to get some more rebar stakes just so I can pin them down at an angle. But I'll probably wait until after we make our final position out here before we do that. Concept works though. Well, that's it for this episode of Art of Tiny Living. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching. It helps our numbers. Like us on your social media pages. This is what it looks like for modern pioneering. Although we're increasing our likelihoods of having nice hot showers to come. So that'll be a treat.